respected Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, HODs, and my dear faculty members, good evening everybody. Happy Rakhi Day greetings to all of you. This is the continuation of story of the digital content preparation and its refinement. As you are aware, this digital content is very much necessary, not only to address the corona pandemic, it is very much required in the future. So we are very much stressing on the preparation of this digital content in a very attractive form, in a very effective form, useful for the learning of the students. So I am happy to say that about 30 to 40% of the faculty have already crossed the first stage of their preparation. They have used CompuAsia editing software and prepared and worked out and put lot of hard work for that and prepared their best in the preparation of the content. And about 50 to 60% of the faculty are not able to show it by this time, are not able to finish even one unit, and some of them perhaps they are not initiated the preparation also. Might be perhaps they are thinking, yes, in a very leisurely way. Because they do not know the quantity of work to be done, they do not know, they are not able to estimate how much work it is to be done and how important it is. So I wanted to tell you the quantity of work at this moment. So yes, this is the faculty done most of it. Some of the faculty have done most completed for Unit 1 and also entered into Unit 2 and about to complete. But 50 to 60% of the faculty are not able to initiate or are in the midway of it. Again, I am telling you, they have not realized the quantity of work to be done, and also they have not realized about its importance. I tell them about the quantity of work to be done. Now I'll calculate what is the work to be done, what is the quantity of work, and all of you are aware, being engineers, being faculty members, about that. Only for your realization, I am trying to calculate. We have 13 departments. In 13 departments, we have 5 courses each. Each department has 5 courses, and we have 3 batches, second year, third year, and fourth year. 13 departments, 5 courses each, and 3 batches. Departments and 3 batches for second, third year, and final year, and we have 5 courses each. It means this many courses have to be done. 15 into 13. 195 courses to be done for one semester. 190 courses, for each course 5 units are there. And for each unit we take at least 20 hours. This is the work to be done for every department. I mean, this is the work to be done for every department. Around, 950 hours to be done. Output should come from every department. For all the departments, yes, it is 13. This is the number of hours we have to get it. So this is the, for every faculty, for every department, this is the number of hours we have to give the output. For example, ECE considered to be going very slow, so they have 50 faculty, so each faculty has to do at least 40 hours output, they have to give it. 40 hours output means they have to work 40 into 4, 160 hours every faculty has to work in the next 10 days. It means 16 hours a day. That is the quantum of work one has to do it. That is the, yes, this is the way you have to think. Normally, all of you are thinking there's some we have started and we are doing, we are going further, we are progressing. This is the way you are thinking, but you have to estimate the quantity of your department, quantity of every faculty member, and how much they are doing it, how much they have done it so far, how much is left behind for the completion. Okay, so at least, so to make it happen, yes, so to at least if you take 2 units as an initial stage, so we have to do at least continuously out of this 160 hours, you have to complete or do complete at least 60 to 70 hours before 13th. So this may be to some extent possible to the departments of computer science and ECE, where the faculty members are large number. But for other departments like civil, mechanical, chemical, it is a big task to be done. So, my dear faculty members, it seems some of the faculty members have not realized about the quantity of work to be done. That is the reason they are taking it in a very leisurely way and also in a very casual way to start the work. And so that is the reason they are in the first phase or in halfway or midway of their preparation. For that reason, I am trying to explain, you know pretty well all these things, but even then I am trying to explain the quantity of work to be done before 13th of August, that is before the commencement of our class work. So, yeah, again I am trying to explain the quantity of work to be done. Each department has 3 batches. Each batch has 5 courses to be done. Okay, for each course, at least you have to work out with 20 to 30 hours. So this is the work to be done in the next 10 days. 300 hours should be produced in the next 10 days. So if we have 40, 50 faculty members, it is okay, it may be possible. But if you have only 10 or 12 members like civil or mechanical, it is a very difficult task. For this 300 hours preparation output, we have to work at least 3 to 4 hours for every hour. It means 1200 hours need to work. For example, if you take EC having 50 people, so 50 or 60 people, everybody should work around 60 to 70 hours a day in the next 1 week, 10 days. So this is the quantity of work to be done. So if it is mechanical, if you have 15 people, and this is around 150 hours to be done by every faculty. So this is the quantity of work to be done by every faculty. And try to calculate on your own and think it in a systematic way, think it logically, and try to react to that and make it possible. You have to work day in and out, otherwise it is not possible. So the second aspect is, so now I request you to realize the work to be done and try to realize you for the work to be done and do it faster and very seriously and in a concentrated way. And then, so yes, so how to do this work? For those who are already started, they know something. Those who are not started or in midway, I am again giving it to you what are the precautions to be taken while preparing this content with CompuAsia. So every chapter should be started with a beautiful introduction. That is the basic thing. Basic thing. So I'll tell you again about the introduction. The introduction gives the motivation to the students, demands the curiosity among the students. Introduction gives the lot of interest among the students. The introduction part is very important, and it should be of the daily experience, maybe application oriented, or something known experience. This is the kind of introduction you have to give it to the for every chapter. I'll talk about the introduction later. And the second part is the size of the video. Size of the video, most of you are in between or something around. If the screen is like this, so the size of the video should be almost 1/3 of the screen. Otherwise, there won't be eye contact with the students, and when they cannot see your eyes, they cannot be connected to you, and so it would be like a news reader, and it may not be useful much. So the background of the video should be whatever you are there, wherever you are there. Background of the video should be some background related to the chapter, like this. So I am talking on behalf of Vignan University, so I put Vignan University students on my background. In the same way, you can put some background related to your topic. Suppose you are talking about the laser, so you put a laser beam continuously on the screen. And you are talking about the heat, so put something about the heat on that. So talking about the electricity, so to put something about the electricity on the back of it in a smaller form. That gives the attractive slide. And the background of the video may also be added something. So color of the screen, that is what I was telling every presenter. Normally when you open the campus here, you will get the white color. You are working on the white color board. So white color is a very bad color for presentations, because it is in two ways. The student always looks at the white notebook. You are not adding any variety for him. The second thing is, so the well-researched thing of the color is the blue color. That is, the blue color is used for computer screens or cell phone screens, and most of it that gives the contrast to many other colors. Or if you don't like the blue color, use some color, fast color like yellow, red kind of thing, and create the letters matching to the color. It means if you use dark blue like this, white is the contrast color. If you use light blue, you can use the black letters. If you use the red, yes, you can use the black letters. And if you use the yellow, you can use the black letters. I am giving it. Dark blue screen, white letters. Light blue screen, black letters. And red, black letters. And yellow, maybe used black letters. Something like that. It should be an attractive color for the student. This screen should be an attractive color for the student. And also simultaneously you have to maintain the contrast. So that is the other thing. So if there are any tables, there are big tables which is not visible, then divide the table into, suppose big periodic table is there, but it is visible closely but not visible at a distance. So divide the table into 3 parts, show it and explain it, and then part-wise after explanation, combine the table and show it at once. So that is the way you have to show it bigger tables. And next part, so there should be a summary of every of contents for every 5-10 minutes to reinforce their memory. So we are talking about the same thing. Yes, relevance of working models or illustrations may be added in between your presentation or at the introduction of your presentation. So as a summary, now I am summarizing what all I told you. The first thing is, realize the workload and react to that. That is the basic thing. And about the preparation of the content, The first thing is the size of the video should be big. It should be introduced with social relevance or application oriented. And yes, the color of the screen should be dark and it should be attractive. And when there are tables, divide into different parts and explain it, and then combine it at the end of it so that the student will have a greater view for this. So this is how you have to prepare the content. And sound system should be checked thoroughly. Many 80% of the faculty members are failed to check their sound system. Sound, every human being has his own pitch, has his own bass. So like thumb rules, no two voices are equal. So in the same way, every human being has his own pitch and bass. So you have to check yourselves on your own with the mic for the distance and the clarity of it and all that 5-6 times before record. That is the first thing. And you should see that there is no external disturbance like fan disturbance also. You should see that there is no outside disturbance like cars and traffic and other things. So this is the sound management. And light also should be manipulated in such a way there should not be any burning on your face. At the same time, there should not be dark on your face. So you should check yourself on the screen. What is the light position, how it is going on, how effective your photo is. You should be more beautiful than on the screen than actual this thing. So that is how you have to present yourselves on the screen. So this is how you should prepare the content, taking all these factors into consideration. So again I am summarizing. That is the reason I ask you to summarize. Third time I am summarizing. First thing, you should start with a beautiful introduction. Second thing, video size should be good. Should be 1/3 of the board. And third aspect is when you are presenting tables, divide into 2-3 parts and explain and then combine. Fourth most important, sound should be maintained properly, checked properly. Fifth thing is light should be manipulated so that you should look beautifully. So this is how you should take care in preparation of your PPTs or presentations. And then taking all these things into consideration, final output must be like this. So yes, good introduction. Second thing, outcomes of the lesson or the topic. And third thing, content with all examples and explanations. And fourth aspect, so a summary. And fifth aspect is the quiz. When you give a Google this thing, quiz or question paper, at least 60 to 70% of the questions should be answered by 60 to 70% of the students. Then only it is successful, otherwise we have to repeat. So this is the format of your content. With good light, with good sound, with good screen background, and with good, color with good background of yourselves. So this is the final outcome, final format, what is expected for a digital content or a particular lesson. So this is all about the preparation using the CompuAsia software and all that. Now, this process has its own limitations. Yes, you have done extremely well, you have worked hard, you have worked so many hours and prepared well. Even then, it has its limitations. The limitations are, for this, after struggling so hard and you have prepared the content, fine. It has its own limitations. So the limitation is, the body language is not connected to the content. That is one limitation. We are talking this side and the content is from this side. So there is no connectivity, which point we are talking and how we are talking and all that. There is no exercise using the CompuAsia and all that. And you are feeling that you have done extremely well. That's right. I am happy for that. You have done it to your best. But at the same time, this process, this kind of content has its own limitation. The limitations are like this. So, limitations are like this. Number one, there is no teacher contact, body contact to the content. So, content is going on one side, the body is on the other side. And most of the times, we are not using any marker. And most of the major limitation about this is we cannot work out. We have to work the mathematical problems. We have to calculate. We have to do so many things. So except reading on the PPTs, we cannot reinforce that. That is the major limitation. That is the really develops the logic. So there is no possibility of developing the logic when you are giving the content without examples, without workings, without any illustrations. So these are the limitations. And the content is going on one side, the teacher is on the other side. So no connection between these two. This is the problem. This is the serious problem. When you are, suppose you are giving some principle, mathematics principle, and if you are satisfied with one or two examples from the PPT, students may not understand. So you have to add another 4, 5, 6 examples to reinforce that principle, to explain that principle clearly. That kind of possibility is not there in CompuAsia. Again, I am telling. So the limitations of this CompuAsia, what you have prepared all through last 15 days, 1 month is, body language is not connected to the content. Body is on one side, your body language is one thing, the language on the screen is other, because you are not directed towards that. And the second thing is, so there is no possibility of development of logic except reading out. But yes, there is no possibility of working more number of examples, more number of giving more number of illustrations apart from the PPT, what you have done. So to reinforce that. And the second part is, most of the times you are failing to use the pointer also. From on what point you are talking, it is not visible, it is not connected to the student. That is the problem. Yes. So to resolve all these limitations, yes, you have completed first phase, no doubt. All the other faculty members also try to do this, because this would be useful for the second phase. To resolve all these limitations and do it in a better form. So yes, we are using the smart board and a high-end camera system, so that it facilitates you to work, it facilitates you to present you better than in the classroom itself. It facilitates you to do in a very, very effective form of presenting your content. So this is the second phase. For this, actually, the previous exercise is very much necessary. But before using this smart board and other these things, you have to take a lot of care in using it very effectively. The first thing is, the first part, most important part is, yes, most of the times, not only in the digital content, in your classrooms also, what I could observe is, you are reading out the presentation, PPT. You are reading out the PPT just like that. In the same way, in CompuAsia also, you are reading out the PPT. You are not at all a presenter. You are not at all an orator. You are not at all a pravachanakarta. You are a teacher. You have to teach, not reading. You have to explain. You have to add logic. So you have to, in your own handwriting, you have to teach. That is what exactly I have done to explain every point of it. So right from this presentation, I am trying to write down lots of things, though they are there in the presentation, so that then only you are giving some time for the listener to think. You are giving some time for the student to grasp and yes, to develop the logic. So you have to basically identify the difference between the presenter and the teacher, a reader and the teacher. You are a teacher. It means you have to take up principle to principle and explain with examples, illustrations, and create understanding. That is the first thing, first care you have to take. So to facilitate that, you have to organize your PPT in such a way to 2/3 of the board, leaving 1/3 of the space for your calculations. And so you may wear the blazer to absorb the extra light coming out from the light, so that your face may be pleasant. That's it is not for beauty and other things. Your dark color jacket always absorbs the extra light from coming out from the extra. Teacher there must be, as I told you in the beginning, there must be a beautiful introduction created by the teacher beyond the textbook. For example, the introduction should be like this. Suppose for every subject and for every topic, you have to introduce, you have to create an introduction with all creativity in a beautiful form. For example, if you are introducing physics. So you have to tell them, create a lot of interest among them. Physics. So you have to tell all the concepts, all the chapters of physics. The first thing is mechanics and gravitation. Without gravitation, we can't stand on the earth. So we can't walk. The buses cannot run. Cars cannot run. So that is how we have to introduce each chapter. Without next chapter, without heat, we cannot cook this thing. We cannot live. And without sound, there are no instruments, like even stethoscope is out of the sound measurement. Our ultrasound of heart is the sound measurement. So in the same way, without light, we cannot live, because light gives the photosynthesis. That in turn gives the food. We can't live without the light. So electricity is the other chapter. It is the great invention in the 18th century, 19th century. That is the contribution for the civilization. So without physics, understanding of physics, we are not understanding the life itself, the process for life itself. So that is how we have to introduce every subject. In the same way, if you are introducing a particular chapter, so heat, let us say, heat. So heat, without heat, there is no engineering instruments, no engineering material without processing through the heat. Yes, no engineering materials without processing the heat. For any instrument, the material should be heated and made it to the definite shape and make it an instrument. In the same way for sound, so many instruments are prepared using the concept of sound. As I told you, stethoscope, ultrasound, yes, distance is measured of the sound, anything. In the same way, light. As I told you, this is the most important thing. Without light, human beings cannot live. They cannot get the feeding. They cannot do anything. And technically, with the using of the light, for many engineering instruments are being prepared and measurements are made using the light. In the same way, electricity is known to everybody. Without electricity, we can't live I mean, for a week or so. So this is the kind of introduction you have to give it for every topic. This is not there up here in the textbooks, but you have to think, create an introduction. Suppose engineering, I mean, computer science, people are thinking, I mean, discussing about big data, where this big data is used. So you have to start introducing with contemporary situation. Now more than 2 crore people are affected by corona. What age people are, which age people are affected? Which male or female, which sex people are affected? How they are affected? Which area mostly affected? This is all not possible manually. This is possible only by analyzing with big data. So in the same way, machine learning is there everywhere. To create artificial intelligence, doctors, AI drivers, everything. So to monitor artificial intelligence, machine learning. So for everything, some application should be there. In the same way, English you can teach in 2 ways. English is a great language, a global language, a very powerful language, and this is one way. The other way of introducing English is, to the student level. You are a student, you want to have not only degree, you need to have placement, a good placement. For that, you need to have good communication, good language. And to grow further in your career also, you need to good communication. And also, we have a definite program over here to make you very good communicator. Though you have come from very rural area, come from English medium, you are not confident of speaking in English, but we make you confident of it. That makes you to get a job. That makes you to grow faster. That makes you to do better in the life. So this is how we can connect it to the student about the language. They don't bother if we say that English is a great language, good language, global language, this, that. We have to connect everything to their level, and then we have to give that kind of introduction. Again, I'm telling you. So beautiful introduction is very much necessary for every subject and for every topic. That is not available in your textbooks. You have to create, you have to use your creativity and create some interesting example, interesting illustrations from their experiences, and tell them, yes, without this you can't live. So that is truth. For in the knowledge part, maybe as teacher you are telling some topics are important. Some topics are important in terms of examination. But for in a general way, no, everything, knowledge is important. No knowledge is a waste. So that means no chapter is a waste. Every chapter is important for the life. Every chapter is the life. This is how you have to generate the interest of among the students. That is why I am stressing 2 times. So introduction in the first part, and also here for every topic you have to create some interest. That leads them towards you. That leads them towards the other part of your lesson. That makes you a good teacher. Yes. So that they can't imagine that. So they don't know why. If you ask a +2 student why you are studying physics, so they always study to pass the intermediate. At best, they may say that I have to get a good rank in EAMCET, so I am studying physics. Not even one student out of 1,000 students say this is the life. They can't say with sound we have to make many instruments. With light we have to make lots of instruments. With heat without heat we can't live. You can't say that. Only the answer is because there is an examination, so we are studying. Not that it is very essential for my future. Not that it is very essential for my engineering course. Not that I am going to be a good profession in some field, so I need this knowledge. So never imagines. You have to create that imagination. You have to create that hope so that the student would be attractive. So when you are giving it, yes, I don't know whether I am going fast, but we have to give it reasonable modulation, stress, pass. So to expect my energy, I think I am going fast, but you have to go slow with all stress, with a kind of pause, so that the student will have time to think and understand your logic. So this is the very modulation. Most of the people are imitating or repeating the same thing what you are doing it in the classroom. But here modulation is very important. So again I am summarizing. So to make this modern technology, this smart board effectively, and you have to remember 3-4 things. You should be like a teacher, not as a reader, not as a presenter. That is the basic thing. You have to explain everything apart from your presentation. You have to explain everything on the board. The second thing, you should create some interesting introduction for every topic and for every subject to motivate them for further. And the third aspect is, yes, your modulation should be with all stress, pause, and good. So this is these are the basic things you have to maintain for the good presentation. After every 5-10 minutes, there must be a summary. That is what I am doing. Every time I am doing it second time. So if it is 40 minutes time, you can have a break in between also. For 2-3 minutes, presenting the scientists of the topic, presenting some machines of the topic, presenting some illustrations, working models of the topic, anything that creates interest. Because why I am telling you this, so the span of anybody's grasping is not more than 50-20 minutes. So better to give a break after 15 minutes. That is the reason all the TV shows are given break at every 15 minutes in the form of advertisements, other things. In the same way, you have to give a break, and a break should be meaningful because we don't have advertisements. Break may be used for the scientist's biography or the scientist's contribution or some illustrations or some giving other examples or some industry photos kind of thing. You should fill that break of 2-3 minutes. That creates the other interest also among the students. So for every point, many explanations with examples, illustrations should be given. There should, so there should be some background like this on the presenter, on the teacher, so that the board should be attractive. So this is it. And yes. So what is the expected outcome from this? Expected outcome from this. Expected outcome of this content. This is the expected outcomes. When a student have a TV one side and this presentation on the other side, the student should prefer the presentation. Yes. Then we are very successful. Yes. You should not move to the TV. We should stick to our presentation so that it should be, we have to make that attractive, that effective, that with all of that reinforcement. The second thing is, if I put the second year mechanical content or an ECE content to 8th class student, you should grasp at least 50%. Otherwise, our explanation is not sufficient. Our approach is not good. Our presentation is not good. Our teaching is not effective. Because Intermediate student doesn't know anything about mechanics. First year student also doesn't know anything about mechanical engineering. We are introducing him first time. EC fellow, first year fellow doesn't know anything about EC, but we are introducing him for the first time. In the same way, he is also fresher. When a fresher is understanding that, why can't an 8th class student understand that? That is the kind of explanation we have to have. That is the kind of examples we have to give. That is the kind of illustrations we have to give it to in every content. That is the way we have to teach the students in an understandable way. And yes. So this is it, what I am telling. The content on one side, the TV is on the other side. You should prefer the content. The B.Tech electronics student, okay, but the same thing is exposed to the 8th class student also, 9th class student also. He should be able to grasp. That is the kind of explanation we should have. Otherwise, we are not that successful. So the next part is, so it means the content should be interactive, self-explanatory, reinforced with lots of examples and illustrations, experiences, daily experience and all that. I think all of you are aware, yes, all of you are aware, there is a lot of criticism against the online education. Every day some story is coming in the online. So many people say that the online education is not that effective. And yes, normally we are teaching adults and students. So they are more worried about the TVs and WhatsApps. There are no interaction between the teacher and the student. This is the major criticism on online education. We have to, resolve all these things by creating a very interesting content, a very effective content, and also attractive content, so that the adults and boys also should come to our content, and maintaining the kind of interaction with the students. So yes, if we prepare the content with that kind of care, with that kind of concern, so we can resolve all these above challenges, and ours is the first institute to lead as a torchbearer to lead other institutions. I hope that yes, my team is confident and committed to do. My team means all our faculty members and administration is very much competent and committed to do all these things. We will become the torch bearers for all these, for this kind of content preparation. It is not for Corona alone, as I told you in the introduction itself. So this is the future. So at least even after the relaxation of Corona also, 50% of the content is transferred through online. It is towards the self-learning. So the mode is, the whole education system is shifted from conditioned environment of classrooms or campuses to self-learning mode. We have to gear up to the situation, we have to gear up to the occasion, we have to do our best to make it happen. Okay. So I am summarizing it again in a nutshell. So those who are already doing, I am very happy that you are struggling hard. And those who are not doing it in a very active way, try to realize yourselves about the quantity of work to be done. And to start with, how to make a start and make it happen for the stage 1. So have a good video size and good color of your screen and good modulation, good sound system and light system. And the final format should be, so the introduction for the lesson, objectives or outcomes of the lesson, contents explanation with all explanations, and the summary and the quiz at the time. So this is the first part of it. Second stage, this is the stage one. Second stage, when you are approaching to the smart board and higher technology, you have to make it richer, this content part. The richer way is, to make it richer, first thing is you should not be a presenter. You should not be a reader. You have to exercise on the board. You have to do lots of examples on the board beyond your PPT. You should not read the PPT. You have to take support from the PPT and you have to work out like on the blackboard. Then only the teacher would be connected to the student. Then only you will give some scope to think, to grasp. That is the first thing. Second, to make it happen, the second thing is try to use 1/3 of the board, 2/3 of the board for the PPT and 1/3 left it for your working. And third aspect, so your modulation should be good. And and the fourth thing is you have to intercept with the good examples, good illustrations, good contributions from the scientists. And the most important thing is you have to start with a beautiful introduction. That makes a lot of sense for the next half an hour. Thank you. I hope and I wish that I also made some mistakes, made some faults. So yes, being youngsters, many of the faculty members are young people. They are more creative than us, more creative than me, and they got more energy than me. They can do better things than me. So try to think of it. I hope we are going to create a very wonderful content for the benefit of the students. And thank you very much. Thank you.